the Pope. The Bishop of Rome took office as the Pontifex Maximus. For the common people, though, he chose a more familiar name, something that would not draw too much attention to his imperial power. He took the name Pope. It simply means Papa. Well, this was not meant to downplay his intention. It was the big Papa, like Papa, the Papa Pope of the world. From here, two distinct changes occurred, one concerning the worldly power and the other concerning the relationship with God. Politically, the power of the Emperor of Rome declined. Eventually, the empire itself collapsed and disappeared in the dust of history. Accordingly, the power of the Pope grew, not only as the big Papa of all believers, the Catholic Church, literally meaning the Church for all, but also as a political lighthouse. Where the Roman armies once had been defeated, the Christian bishops now got a foothold, and the Pope soon dictated what the kings should say. He collected taxes and led wars to conquer and convert new countries into good, tax-paying, loyal provinces. The extent to which a country was Christian was not to be measured in how much the inhabitants felt like Christians. If they believed in the gospel, the resurrection of Christ, or that he was the Son of God, far off. No, the only thing that could save a country was for the king to bow for the Pope, to become baptized, and start paying taxes. And his minions should of course follow suit. People that were already baptized, that already felt and acted like Christians, were forced to the baptismal font. Those who dared to reject were helped with the sword, pay your tax or die. For the pagans, who before the Christian Pope took office in Rome enjoyed freedom in religious matters and could praise the gods of their liking, the Christian takeover was a dramatic restriction. The enormous variety had vanished. Now there was but one option. Even to the different Christian churches, the Pope represented a totally new understanding of the personal relationship with God and Jesus Christ. The ancient understanding of the Pontifex Maximus underwent namely a subtle, nevertheless dramatic transformation. Where the Pontifex Maximus in earlier times was the cleric building bridge between the confessions, tying the different groups of peoples together, now that everybody had understood that the only way of surviving was through the state-authorized doxology of the Pope posed as the builder of the great bridge between man and God. For man to get in touch with God, there was one and only one authorized way, through his representation on earth, the Pope. The Pope was not merely the builder of the bridge, he became the bridge itself. At this place, we have to remind the reader of the words of Jesus, that nobody can see the kingdom of God without being born of water and spirit. Instead of leading people to this understanding and giving them tools to reconnect, this is what religion is all about, religare, reconnect. The Pope swept his knowledge in impenetrable veils and killed those who tried to cross without his permission. Thus, he who acts as a deputy of God on earth actually becomes a fierce predator, and his dove rather resembles a black bat. See picture 125. It is obvious that due to this one fact alone, all people who knew about the divine conception were killed, burned at stakes, hunted down as witches, and all these stories that you already know of. This gave the Pope and his organization a lead. For that to function, a whole army was installed, and a potent one indeed, with the innocent name, the Society of Jesus. This organization works until this day on all levels of society where the Pope gets a foothold. They work through fear, telling people that they will go to hell if they do not pay tribute to the Pope. Their monks and priests worked through deception and rewriting history. They invented modern science to exclude the spirit and soul of man. And even the fifth element, the quintessence, life itself. Because it seemingly does not exist, no sane people will take these words in their mouth without losing all public esteem. Eventually, heretics were given the worst punishment possible. At least, that is what they made people believe, excommunication. One should remember, though, that this only worked as long as people believed in the perdition, because, as we shall see, the excommunication could in actuality mean salvation. All of this was and is done in order to secure that nobody gets access to the kingdom of God, which would direly inflict the Pope's position on earth.